time for the wild card question. And I'm going to ask you, if you were stuck on a desert island and you could only have one game to play, what would it be? So you can have it on console or PC. You can't have an internet. You can't have an internet connection, so it's only one game. Although that would knock out so many games that are MMO experiences. So, all right, maybe you can have the internet, but only for that game that you are playing.
Can you talk to other people?
No, we're women in gaming, so we always have our mics off anyway. So, what would that one game be? Tough question. I'm not sure what my answer is yet. What do you think?
Unsurprisingly, I'd go with a PlayStation game. How long are we on the desert island for?
You don't know. It could be forever. Maybe nobody's going to rescue you.
Well, my initial thing is to go with God of War, the latest one. But I fear that if you played only that game forever, you'd go a bit mad and start hating it, which I couldn't abide. In that case, it would probably have to be. I'd hit myself on the head with a rock so I could forget the games that I played already before, and then I'd probably do Death Stranding. Because at
this point, I'm feeling pretty smug and seeing the weaknesses and limitations of story games compared to the more open world games that I like to play. So, Alex.
I've got one in mind. I don't know, I guess you could say it's a bit of both. But I did say at the time when I played it that if I could only play this game forever, I'd be happy. And it's probably Assassin's Creed Origins. The Egyptology student that I am. Yes, it was. It's quite large. It's basically the top half of Egypt. And then if you've got the DLC, the bottom half of Egypt. Or some of it anyway, not all of it. But I just absolutely loved that game in ways that went a lot deeper than probably your non-Egyptologist gamer would appreciate, because I could appreciate, like, even when you have conversations with people, they would use Egyptian words and I'd understand what they mean, and I'd read things on the walls and understand what they mean and understand all these little things about the world and how people behaved and the class systems and the jobs that people had, and like there was all these layers of understanding that I got out of it, and I knew they'd worked really hard on putting it in there, so I could appreciate it so much on so many levels.
Oh, I know, this has been really hard. Can I give two answers? I don't want to take two games, but two two options. I think I would probably take a game like My Time in Portia or Stardew Valley, because there's so much longevity to those games. They just go on forever and ever, and they're just gathery games and buildy games, and so I think that would keep me busy. But I would also like to take a like a text adventure designer or instead take, because my heart is in the mud world from multi-user dungeons. That was where I started gaming, and I helped to design a game. So the idea of creating these worlds and creating the games, you could build a game and play your game and build another game and play another game. So I think that might be, and it's one of those things that I found one actually online that you can use to do that now, and I think that's something that I would love to do, but I just don't have the time to put into it. But yeah, if I was on a desert island, I would have plenty of time, and it wouldn't need fancy graphics either. So
no children.
Anything else? Yeah.
Jem, I've written down another quote from you, which is, "My heart is in the mud."
Yeah. My heart is in the mud.
You're a quote machine this evening.
What Jem's just said actually gave me a thought, which is that during the first lockdown, well, I mean, we've never actually left lockdown, but anyway, back in March, when the first stages of this pandemic hit and we were all enthusiastic about what we were going to achieve with our time at home, I signed up for an online course to learn Unity, and I really should have stuck with it, because then I could take Unity with me to the desert island and make any game I want, you see. But realistically, I would be choosing RimWorld because I love that game and it has endless playability, especially if I'm allowed mods. And I never tire of starting a scenario in RimWorld and seeing how it plays out. But I mean, I suppose if you look at the number of hours of gameplay I've got on Steam, I've got over 700 hours on RimWorld and just over 1,100 hours on Rust. So you'd think Rust would be the one that I would take, but I don't know, I just don't think I'd enjoy it on my own as much. And the toxicity of the environment probably wouldn't really help with the desert island blues. So yeah, I'm sticking with RimWorld as my choice. Post-apocalyptic, rebuilding on a planet and keeping cute pets. I think that's the way we should all be heading in this direction.
On the theme of the learning how to use game development engines, I've been learning piece by piece how to use the Unreal Engine over the last, I think, 3 years now, and I've got a list of game ideas that I've been fleshing out that I'm so excited about. But my only limit is being able to the actual technical skill to be able to do it. And with something like Unreal Engine and the Unity engine, they are one of the reasons I think so much fantastic art is being created at the minute is because it's the avenues are accessible. So we have with podcasting, we have seized the means of production. We don't need radio. We don't need a station. That's why the Guilty Feminist is so incredible, because you just go, I'm just going to book a theatre with 30 people with my mate and make something incredible. And it's the same with game creation now, because with the Unity and Unreal in particular, they are AAA game engines. The Arkham Batman games were made on the Unreal engines. And now people with the mindset who want to get into those industries, they don't need to join a massive company that's run by men, as always been run by men. And it's an exciting time to be seeing all these industries that the brilliance of the population at large is able to shine through.
Brilliant. So you can create the game in the system game when the time